Cool. What's up, Matt? How we doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we've done a lot of running, which has been great. And want to talk today about month 5.
This is Couch to 50K. How to finish your first ultra marathon.
We're moving right through this program and gearing up for another big month of running. Similar to the last, but just bigger, better, more. So that's cool. I'm excited about it. And yeah, the last month went pretty well. I had a little bit of an injury come up, but it was more like a soreness, tightness thing. And yeah, I tried to take a couple days off and hoped it would just go away, which it didn't. But I was like, well, I don't have time to not run. So just started running again, and it didn't get any worse.
Okay.
So kind of like,
is it still
keep
there
going.
now?
Yeah, still there now. But it's getting better and better. I think I'm slowing down the healing process by not taking full rest, but it's definitely not getting worse. So, it's like keep plowing ahead, right?
Grind it.
Just go.
Grind it down, baby.
Just one more little thing. It was something that worried me for a bit, 'cause I'm like, if I don't want to take a month off. I don't have time for that really, right? And then that'd be like starting all over. Right. But I also didn't want to just keep training and
it's hard.
Get like super injured to the point that, so it was the timing of it. There was enough time still that I could have tried to treat it completely.
Right.
But so here we are. Still a little bit of pain, but it's nothing crazy. I think it's kind of like an oblique thing. Didn't really get it checked out. I talked to a couple PTs, but nothing official, no diagnosis. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
You changed your shoes?
I did change some shoes. Yep. Yeah, and I heard it before that with some older shoes, road running shoes. I went down and did the Carlsbad 5K on the road, ran a little too hard. That was like I was feeling it before that actually.
Right.
But I think that was where I kind of turned it into an injury. Yeah. Some hard road running, which I hadn't really done any of.
You went to the world's fastest 5K.
Right.
As a middle-aged dad.
Yes.
Trying to like match your high school time.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much how it went. So yeah, not a shocker that I injured myself a little bit, but it was fun though. It's a cool ass race. Yeah, very fun.
Very cool. I saw Rosemond.
Is that right? We needed to look it up. I always want to call him Robinson for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw him down there.
He was at the high school track last night too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So,
super cool guy. We should get his name right because he has been in here. He made a little video for us.
Totally. He tagged us on Instagram when he was at the high school.
Nice.
He tagged us. So,
yeah, very cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and he won it. He won the one. Yeah, that was my race. I wasn't ready for that either. I was like, I thought Masters was a 50 thing, but apparently it's 40. So yeah, racing the Masters division now.
There you go.
But yeah, man, he crushed it. That
dude's fast.
He is fast.
Yeah,
very fast. But yeah, let's talk about month 5. It is April for me, but month 5 of the program. What are we calling it?
Yeah, we're going into our duration month. Off the top of my head, I can't recall what we called what last month's focus was, but we're kind of getting to the part now where we're going to start to get into longer runs. We really highlighted or, focused on frequency at the beginning, especially to not really injure ourselves. Mm-hmm. And, you probably were able to run a lot further over the last 3 months by keeping it down in mileage and increasing the number versus just going out and doing, 10 or 15-mile run.
Yeah, totally worked too. And before we get into it, I was pleasantly surprised that it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't know, right? And then when I did go out and do one longer run towards the end of the month, last month, it actually felt pretty good. It was like a good 8-miler, no hills or anything, but still like that was a lot farther than I had gone. And so that that worked really well, man. The frequency and stacking it up, I definitely built the endurance and strength without having to go out and run a long run, a couple times a week or something. So yeah, I'm convinced. I'm a believer.
Yeah, man. I like I said before, I like it. It has worked for me all the way up into the much further distances where I really don't run super far. Like I'm not like a really high mileage guy in terms of relative to other people in the like 200 plus mile space. They're doing 160 mile weeks, right now, getting ready for Cocodona. And so there's obviously different schools of thought, but the running shorter, running more frequently has worked great for me. So glad to hear it, dude.
I was surprised. I really was surprised, but
it doesn't feel like you're doing anything when you're doing it. Right. Because you're always cutting a run short. Like you feel like, I could go a little further. I could go a little further, but it just adds up. Eventually, you let yourself go a little further, and all of those frequent runs really like come into play.
Yeah, I had a few of those moments too, where I went out on the run and I just felt great, know. And I'm like, the whole point is to train. I'm just gonna go run a few more, and I was like, I got to run tomorrow. I want tomorrow to feel good too, so I tried to stay really true to it and honest with it, and it really did work.
Nice. Yeah, that's great to hear. Probably helps to fit it into a busy schedule too when you're not having to go out for multiple hours, on each run. It is nice when you can do that. Like that's rewarding and enjoyable, but it's easy to squeeze in, like 40 minutes of running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. Although I think those days are coming to an end now.
Yeah, now we're ramping up, right? Now you're gonna continue with the frequency, but you got to make the runs get a little longer. Now that you can, and now it's like almost going back to the beginning. It's just your base is way better. So the frequency is still extremely important. You just want to incrementally increase all of those runs to really build the duration up. So we're not going to like drop off in the number of runs, and we're not going to like increase huge mileage per run. Like you're still not needing to go out and do 25-mile runs. But the high frequency runs with, a couple more miles on is going to add up. And that's going to probably make you feel like you did at the start, where it's back to like grinding and not feeling like you want to go further. How you were just saying like, I felt great and I was out there. Now add a couple miles to each of those runs and still do, the 5 or 6 runs per week. And, you're back into like a build phase, building up.
So expectation of a little more pain, fatigue, soreness. I like to think about that before I get there.
Yeah.
It helps me a lot, because if I wake up and I'm just shot, it demotivates me. But if I am expecting it and I know it's coming, I'm like, I'm going to feel this in the morning, but it doesn't matter. Just go.
I think this is a good month and a good time to slow down again.
Okay.
And slow down even more. And like I would recommend hiking too, to get that time on feet. And like one of the things we want to do this month is practice your fueling during the race, like what you're going to be, eating and drinking during the race. And a lot of times that's tough to do in the shorter runs.
Sure.
And so, if you're slowing down and adding a little bit of mileage to your runs, you're going to be out there a lot longer. It's going to give you the opportunity to play around with your fueling strategies. And, like, again, you're back to a building phase where you're, it's going to be hard, and slowing down is going to help you go a little bit further. No more world's fastest 5K runs.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That's what my wife wanted to do for her birthday, though.
Yeah,
so that's my
you
excuse.
Got to do it.
You got to go.
Well, you got yourself into shape that it wasn't like, completely debilitating.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I felt pretty fast out
Yeah.
there. It was a lot of fun. But before we go too far, run me through specifically what we should be doing this month. Let's just block it out, just so we have it in our mind. And
Yep. I think you should be at 30 to 40 miles per week.
okay,
Trying to run 6 times per week, kind of as like your goal. 30 to 40 miles, 6 times per week. A couple of those should be doubles. So maybe you're running 4 days, and 2 of the days out of the 4 have 2 runs in them.
Okay.
So again, still continue with the frequency. You still want to be changing your or like kind of shaping your week with a hill workout, like some hill workouts in a tempo run, something a little bit faster, a little bit shorter. And then, and like I said, the hikes, adding a couple of hikes in, if you're going to do doubles, maybe one of your days, the doubles has a long hike involved with it. That's even more time on your feet. Mm-hmm. So you'll start, we're going to want to start to build up the time on the feet now. Like we're getting close to where you're going to be out there for, 6 hours. So in training, if you can hit 4 to 6 hours on that double day, that would be good for you. You're going to have to practice your fueling if you're out there, even over 2 runs for 6 hours. So, a 4-hour, very easy, or, easy by effort, not necessarily easy by terrain, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So like a 4-hour easy hike run is gonna do a lot for you. But still maybe a 3-mile speed workout in that week as well.
Yeah, nice. That's a lot of running. I got to say that's probably I may have run that big of a week like once.
Yeah.
So there will be a challenge there. I think it'll be important to remember what you said a little earlier, which is just to slow down.
Yeah.
And the frequency. I'm as I said, I'm a believer, so I do feel like it's not. Even though I've probably done a 30-mile week one time in my life, I feel pretty confident I can go do 3 of them in a row, right? Just because it's there now. I've practiced that kind of frequency muscle.
Yeah. I think if you went out and ran 20 miles, you would have a difficult time getting in 30 that week because you would wreck yourself right now. And you might get out for another 5 or something, but you're going to have a few tired days in there. You're probably not going to feel the greatest. It's going to for me anyways, longer runs, they zap my kind of my desire to push hard on longer runs. So it's like when I do it, I get it out of my system, and I'm not like as in need of that like suffer fast that I don't really have that motivation. So I like to build up that motivation towards the race. So when like the race comes, it's like I've been holding back a little bit of that digging deep. I don't know where I was going with that, but
yeah, no, I like it, dude. That all sounds really good. I feel good about it. I think we've already run through it pretty well for the month. Looking forward to talking also about next month, the biggest month, month 6. So we'll stay tuned for that episode, right? That's where I get real scared, I think.
Yeah. You think you're running a lot now.
Right. Yeah. 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 So the next couple of months, man, it's going to be a lot of running, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Good to see. Good to see that you are, reaping the benefits of the high frequency.
Yeah, man.
I think
it's
that's
all
cool.
worked really well. Our weather's turned around up here too, which is pretty cool. It feels like spring now.
Yeah.
So mostly the snow's pretty much all gone.
Yeah, the trails are awesome.
Yeah, the trails are great, and there's so many out there. I want to go do a little bit of the course here and there, but just in general, we have such good trails, and there's so many that I haven't run. I've biked a lot more than I've run up here.
Yep.
But that's a totally different experience.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed at least. Going out and running a trail that you've mountain biked, you may as well have never been there before.
Yeah.
Just because of the speed, right? Like
Yeah.
you take in so much more.
When the Maple Hills trails were first built, like they're so windy and there's so many connections. I had it all dialed in running. And then I took the mountain bike over there and I was like blowing past turns and like hills that I used as like landmarks were not, you know, like the same level of a landmark anymore because I'm on a bike. So it just, everything moved faster. And I remember getting lost over there a few times. Like,
It's surprisingly easy to do because it seems like it's not that big.
I know, but it winds through like every little canyon in there and all the little connector trails. And
Yeah, good stuff. So I'll definitely be doing some exploring. And good stuff, man.
Cool,
Thank
Dan.
you. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
On to the next.
Couch to 50K is an Elevated SoCal project. All rights reserved.